Welcome back to the Healed Process podcast. I'm your host, Sarah Sparks, and today we're diving into a powerful, necessary conversation, the healing power of releasing trauma. I know I didn't even want to say the word trauma for quite some time. There are emotions that were in me and experiences that I felt that I really didn't want to label. If you're there, I understand. And if you've ever felt like past pain is holding you back, like no matter how much work you do, those old wounds keep resurfacing in your relationships, your business, and your confidence, this episode is for you. Because here's the truth. Your unprocessed emotions are not just thoughts in your mind. They live in your body, shaping your reality. But healing doesn't have to be hard. Today, I'm walking you through 3 steps to emotional release so you can finally let go, feel lighter, and step into the freedom, the liberation you deserve, you're worthy of. And speaking of freedom, I have something special for you. I'm hosting a free live workshop on February 14th at 11 a.m. Eastern. It's called Surrender and Align, the Path to Soul-Led Success. It's time to stop focusing, stop overthinking, and start leading with ease. Join me on my personal Facebook page, February 14th at 11 a.m. Eastern. And enjoy this 20-30-minute workshop, free. Come, enjoy. Surrender and align, the path to soul-led success. All right, I'll see you then. All right, now for this episode, let's get into it. Why releasing trauma matters. There's 3 points that I want to make for you. Trauma isn't just about what happened to you. It's about what's still happening inside of you. Unprocessed emotions create blocks. Energetic, emotional, even financial. Releasing trauma allows you to access your power, your clarity, your divine wisdom, your divine alignment. Trauma, we may have a preconceived notion of what trauma looks like, sounds like, feels like. And if you're like me, I was like, I never experienced any of that. I've never delivered any trauma to anybody. I'm full of love. I know that I have misspoken, gotten angry, let my emotions take over. So I know I delivered it. I've also received it. And I didn't realize how much I was holding into those emotions in my body, that trauma, until I would be watching a movie and flashbacks and emotions start rising. Tightness in the chest, heaviness in the gut, tension in the neck. So your body holds on to trauma in different areas. And then when you take a deep breath, scan your body. Where do you feel the resistance, the tightness, or stuck energy? This is the first step. And it's to locate where trauma lives in your body. Where did those emotions? If trauma or wound is too strong of a word for you, I totally get it. It was too much for me as well. I didn't want to label experiences I had as emotional or verbal abuse. I didn't want to label that. But I experienced it. And I kept those emotions in, suppressed them. My body was keeping score. So I know your body does too. But where does that trauma, those emotions live in your body? Again, take a deep breath, scan your body, and just ask yourself, where do you feel resistance? Where do I feel resistance, tightness, or stuck energy? I mean, that's step one. Now, step two is acknowledge and allow the emotions to surface. Like I said, I suppressed the emotions because I had a preconceived notion of what trauma looked like, and I wasn't that person. I didn't experience it. It was just a moment in time. They were having a bad day. They were experiencing stuff. Because I'm very self-aware and very in tune and I'm very empathetic, I can understand people. I understand where they're coming from. I understand why they react a certain way. I understand, and I'm empathetic, and I understand. I know I'm saying the same thing over and over, but I didn't think, I didn't understand, I didn't know that these emotions were even in me. And so I had to acknowledge and allow the emotions to surface. Most of us are conditioned to suppress or ignore emotions. But what if you allowed yourself to feel them without judgment? And the power of simply naming what you feel. I feel grief. I feel fear. I feel anger. Now, this is key, because I know I said, but I'm not a fearful person. I'm not an angry person. I'm not a person that has lost anybody. I've never experienced grief. I'm not grieving. Now, I'm not saying in this, when you are acknowledging and allowing the emotions to surface, don't label yourself as a fearful person or an angry person. You have the emotion of, you may have the emotion of grief or fear or anger, and you may feel those emotions. That doesn't make you that emotion. Do you see the difference? Do you understand the difference? Emotion is energy in motion. E-motion. E stands for energy, and then motion. So emotion is energy in motion. When you allow it, the emotion, to rise, you create space for relief. And you release it, which leads to step three. Release through movement, sound, or your breath. Emotional release isn't just a mindset shift. It's a full body experience. If the emotion is stored in your body, allow the body then to release the emotion. Yeah, I want to show you practical ways. I want to tell you practical ways to release, all right? In case you're like, oh my God, Sarah, what does this mean? Right? So practical ways to release is breath work, deep exhale, a sigh, shaking it out, literally moving your body, shaking it out. You have sound, humming, singing, even screaming, movement. You can dance it out, stretch, walk in nature. Healing doesn't happen in your head. It happens in your body. So many of us are taught to separate the two. And I even found that the healing had to take place even in my soul. If the wound and the trauma and the emotion ran so deep that it affected my soul, I had to allow all of me, because I am a whole being, mind, body, and soul, to release and to heal. sometimes when you do so much work, you're like, goodness, is this ever going to be enough? Sometimes you just have to lay it down. Surrender is not giving up. It's not you giving up and saying, you know what, whatever. They're right, I'm wrong. Blech. No. Surrender is allowing divine in. It is laying down the burden of constantly having to heal, constantly having to fix, constantly having the burden of other people's emotions inside you, and you just have to lay it down. Are you willing to do that? Releasing trauma isn't a one-time event, it's a practice. The more that you allow yourself to feel and move through emotions, the more freedom, peace, and clarity you will experience. And if you're ready to take this work deeper, to surrender the old ways of pushing and struggling and align with your soul's path, join me on February 14th at 11 a.m. Eastern for Surrender and Align, the path to soul-led success. This free workshop will guide you to releasing what's no longer serving you so you can create success from a place of ease and flow. Join me on my personal Facebook page. I will go live and share this free workshop there. It will be recorded, and I will also put it here on YouTube. Enjoy this workshop. And thank you for being here today in this episode. And if this episode resonated with you, share it with a friend who needs this message today. And I'll see you next time on the Healed Process podcast.